It is 9:01 in the AM. I'm on my way to Gerrard's Cross to pick up Dan. The famous GC shuffle is happening once again. Today's subject, oh no, I've got a road closure. That's not good. I think I sort of knew about that and forgot. So I'm running late today. Poor old Dan's going to be waiting for me. Two reasons. One, the car was all iced up, wasn't expecting that, and now we've got a road closure. I've got to go a long way round just to get out of town to get on the motorway to go and get him. Anyway, ironically, the subject today is stress. What causes it, apart from road closures and icy cars? How do we cope with it? All that stuff. Anyway, stick around.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm about 4 minutes away.
Okay, wicked. I was just making sure we weren't just both stood in different places of the same car park.
No, I'm all good. Just loads of traffic. All right, be there in a moment.
All right, see you in a sec. Bye.
That's it. Bye, mate. It's getting impatient. And I'm in the wrong lane. Where's he at? What, guys?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems to be a bit of cold on this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of one of the reasons I'm a bit late. I did look out the window before I left the house and see my car was frozen to death. So
Yeah.
old de-icing routine. Then there was a road closure. Yeah,
The joys.
the joys. Right.
That's all right. I mean, we're talking about stress, and being late makes you stressed.
Being late. Yeah, being late today, even that makes me stressed. Looking at the sat-nav saying I'm going to be there like 6 or 7 minutes late,
Yeah.
even though it's only 6 or 7 minutes and I know you won't give a shit,
Yeah.
I still get stressed.
Yeah, I do give a shit. It's fucking freezing.
Fair point. But yeah, if someone else makes me late, makes me livid. Really bad. I remember years ago, an ex-boyfriend of my ex-wife's, he was really interested in what we do, and I was going to do a gig for Transmedia actually. It's one of those big things in Peterborough on the showground, and he was like, "Oh, can I come?" I was like, "Yeah, don't mind. You know, be at mine at this time. Got to leave at that time, so be there before that." He turned up an hour late.
An hour late.
An hour late, which meant, you know, I got there an hour late. Now,
So this is your ex-wife's ex-boyfriend?
ex-wife's sister's ex-boyfriend.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I'd planned to get there half hour early. You know, in those days when I was doing gigs, I would get there with enough time that I could have a cup of coffee with the crew,
Yeah.
chat about what what the plan is for the day and all the rest of it. And I ended up getting there basically half an hour after they'd started unloading the truck and setting up,
not
which
good.
made me unpopular.
Yeah.
You know, and I brought a ligger.
And you don't know where anything is.
I don't know where anything is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just remember the drive there, just being really stressed out and angry, knowing that was going to happen. You know, my day was going to be a bit shit now.
bit shit.
I was going to get there late.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty stressful.
Was that it was a sticker that you used to have on your laptop? Sorry I was late, I didn't want to come.
I've got that on my notebook now, yeah. But that's, you know, that's how you feel, isn't it? When someone's late for you.
Yeah.
I mean, back when, you know, a few years ago now, when I was going on a fair few first dates, maybe you wouldn't be surprised. I was very surprised at how late people thought it was okay to be to a first date.
Well, that's fashionably late, isn't it?
I don't know what you call it, but if you've never met someone and your first impression is being half an hour late,
Fuck.
I'm just like, no, I'm not interested. That really wound me up.
Yeah.
Blimey, we've discovered being late is a very stressful thing.
It is a very stressful. Yes, well, it is.
It's up there. One of the big stresses.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I guess that's why people freak out in traffic. It's not the actual traffic.
Well, people
It's
freak
the
out
lateness.
in traffic because It's easy to freak out people when there's a windscreen in between you and the others, isn't it?
It's
I think
true,
I think we might have had this conversation
Yeah.
about road rage.
Well, you don't get road rage when you're walking, do you?
No, you don't. No,
Out of my way.
because they might thump you.
Yeah, it's true.
No.
People feel very protected in their little car bubble, don't
Yeah. Oh dear.
they? Yeah.
That was a deer.
That was a deer.
It was a deer once.
It was an ex-deer.
The next deer,
It
yeah.
was a some kind
Oh
of
dear.
flat and
Yeah.
bloody deer. This road is knackered.
It is, yeah. Give your windscreen a squirt, would you?
I can't. I've run out.
Oh,
That's stressful.
that is stressful,
I
yeah.
don't like that at all.
No, because what?
No.
What? Not being able to see through your windscreen?
Yes. Well, no, I just can't stand the fact that it's run out.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Why didn't you get some more? You had plenty of time.
I had no time. That was another stressful thing this morning. Shall I pull over and get... No, that'll make me another 5 minutes late.
Oh,
Dan will
dear.
get angry.
Yeah.
That'll stress me out.
Dangry, yeah.
Angry. But that reminds us of another good one. Hangry. The hangry thing.
Oh man, yeah.
That's a reality, isn't it?
Yes, oh, total reality, yeah.
It's funny when you don't realise you've got it, but it's hilarious when you spot it in someone else.
Yeah,
I mean, my girlfriend gets it very badly.
yeah,
Doesn't realise sometimes and then go, oh, right, yeah, I haven't eaten today.
yeah.
I think I'm the same.
I definitely notice it.
Yeah, I know it's in you.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you start talking about food and,
Yeah.
and getting quite angry.
Yeah.
Here we are sitting on the top of what's called Windmill Hill in Hitchin. And the reason I wanted to film this here is we're talking about stress and stressful situations and maybe how you keep calm and all the rest of it. And I used to live here, moved away sort of 5 years or 4 years ago now, whatever it was. But during the pandemic and other times I would come up here and sit up here. It was a really nice place to unwind, have a cup of coffee and stare at the world, because like Hitchin is down the hill over there. It's quite high up. You can't really see today. It's so foggy you literally can't see Hitchin.
You used to have a studio here, didn't you?
I used to have a studio which you would normally just about see from here.
We used to come up here to de-stress from the studio.
We did, yeah.
Herbally de-stress.
Sometimes herbally de-stressing.
Some nice tea.
Do you remember the time we were herbally de-stressing
Yeah.
and the police officer started walking up the hill?
We didn't start walking up the hill. We were sat there.
Well, we didn't notice till the police
You stood
was
next
there.
to us. Yeah.
that was bad.
Yeah. And you used to. Yeah.
Somehow got away with that. Not sure how.
Yeah. She said, "Excuse me." We went. Ah.
And they were looking for someone,
They
weren't
were
they?
looking for someone. Yeah.
Yeah, luckily not us.
Not us. Not that time, anyway.
Yeah, that was quite stressful. Suddenly seeing a policeman in front of you. Yeah,
From de-stress to stress.
yeah, it was. But no, I think it's part of dealing with stress, isn't it? Is understanding what makes it go away and what allows you to calm down. What's your plan when you're having a bad, stressy day? What do you do?
Well, a pint is obviously.
A pint.
Yeah,
That
is
can help.
often first call. I think as you get older, you identify the things that make you stressed. We were talking earlier about being late.
Being late is a bad one. Yeah.
Makes me stressed. And unfortunately, I don't have I really enjoy my job when I work from home.
Yep.
But when the mornings I have to get up early and go and sit in traffic,
Yep.
that makes me stressed.
Yeah.
And I think, God, I'm glad I don't have to get up every morning.
Well, I think me and you are quite similar in that we've engineered our lives so that we didn't do that.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
had a job really for very long, in short bursts, but not for long. I've never had a career that involved getting in a car and commuting.
No.
That's too stressful for me.
Being cold.
Yeah, it's pretty damn freezing
That
today.
makes you stressed.
A little bit stressy. Yeah. Bills, money. Money's a big one, isn't it?
Money's a massive one.
A lot of people worry about. Everyone worries about money
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the lucky people that, although it's a thing, it's a background noise of stress,
Yeah.
money, I don't worry about it on a daily basis. I don't let it get to me.
No.
Never lose sleep over that kind of thing.
I was watching a thing actually that, about it was on Channel 5 or something, just watching crap on the telly, and they'd take a really poor family
Yeah.
and a really wealthy family,
Oh,
and they'd swap lives.
Swap lives, yeah.
And the most interesting thing was the money, the disposable income per week.
Yeah.
So like the poor families would have like 45 quid
Yeah.
to feed, clothe, emergency money for the week
Yeah,
after
so-
bills
Yeah.
that they couldn't pay anyway.
Yeah.
And then they'd swap houses with people that have got like £2,000 for a week
Yeah. Yeah.
disposable income. And it was funny actually because all the people that were poor were going home with like TVs.
Just buy stuff.
Yeah, they'd just been and bought stuff for their own flats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genius. Well, do you know what? I haven't quite had £2,000 a week disposable ever, but I've definitely lived at the other end of the spectrum, and that has its own stresses. But I was never massively unhappy. You know, being skint didn't cause me to live a miserable life. I can totally understand that there's a level at which it's a lot less stressful. And I tell my kids this on the regular, really. You don't need to earn fortunes to be happy, but if you just have enough that you can pay your bills, feed yourself, and have a bit left over, once you get to that bracket where every month you're all right, you've got no worries, life is a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you're always worrying about, I can't pay my electricity bill because I've got to pay my gas bill, and I can't pay my council tax because I've got to pay my rent. If you're in that boat, which I have been, that's stressful.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Just get above that and then life is way easier.
Well, imagine having a family that's reliant on you as well. Is mouths to feed and to clothe and
Yep.
Yeah,
it's difficult when you have kids and stuff. All of that.
How expensive are children's clothes?
Oh, yeah, very.
I've discovered Vinted.
Yeah, Vinted. Yeah, we never had any of that. Luckily, we did have. I guess when my kids were young, we did. Primark came out and places like that. All of a sudden, you could get cheaper clothes. But before that, when they were very young, there wasn't that.
No.
And really expensive.
Mothercare, C&A.
I mean, they just saw you coming a mile
Woolworths.
off. Everything was expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not such an issue now. Although we now have to deal with the guilt of buying cheap clothes made in wherever by people getting paid nothing and treated terribly.
Yeah, but it sort of passes the stress down
The
supply chain
to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's that.
It's it's not fair, is it?
What about career-related stress? Do you get that?
No, because I sat in a... No, I don't really. No.
No. Just a flat no.
No, I don't.
Don't worry about my work or my career.
And again, I'm fortunate with it, really. We were talking about this recently. I've always been in a position where things have sort of come along when I've needed them.
Yeah.
I've never had to...
I remember you being quite stressed when you were getting to the end of your university career. That caused you a bit of stress, I think.
It did, yeah.
How to deal with that, what to do.
Yeah, but I would say that was personal, reasons. There was stuff going on at work between management and students and stuff.
Yep.
There was people stopped coming to lectures.
Yeah.
The students started that, right, we've paid our money, where's our degree?
Yeah,
I'm going to sit at home smoking weed and playing my PlayStation and not come to lectures, but I still want my degree.
I mean, that was the period that I did that, wasn't it? It was very strange.
You found it strange, didn't you?
Well, just, there'd be a bunch of people that would only turn up for the last couple of lectures of term and basically want you to tell them how to catch up on everything they'd missed so that they could pass. And I'm like, well, the idea is you come every week and then you have all that information to pass you.
Yeah. I mean, initially the responsibility was on the student to learn. Yeah. But I believe that has swung completely the other way now, in that it's the lecturer's responsibility to ensure that the students are attending. And
what can you do? They're adults.
Well, that's my...
You can't force them to turn up.
Yeah.
If they think they've got better things to do, you just have to fail them.
There we go. Of course, now I'm a student myself.
Yeah.
And I stress about doing my coursework and handing it in on time.
Yeah.
Leaving things to the last minute.
Yeah. That's that. I'm not terrible for that. I can do that. Procrastination used to be a real problem for me. I've just learnt to not let it happen if at all possible. It still does a bit. Try and get things done. I do have very, very productive days at work. When I've got a day where I've got to do lots of office stuff, lots of admin, whether it's paying bills or invoicing or whatever, I'll set a day aside and just totally just focus on that. And I find I get into a real tunnel vision with it. And I don't mind it that much. I just plough through it,
get it done,
and then I know, right, the next day I can do the fun stuff. You know, and that I find works for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think stress from work comes from when people are disappointed. That's difficult. You know, if you do a mix or a master or something and someone doesn't like it, that's a little bit stressful. You want clients to be, you know, happy.
It's
with
when
what
you've
you're
done
doing.
the 6th or 7th mix or master.
Yeah,
and they're still not happy.
yeah. I mean, you're always going to get difficult people, and you have to let that go.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a big thing, isn't it? With dealing with stress, learning when it's someone else's problem, and it's not good for you. It is not up to you to have all the stress for it.
Or, yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Because someone else is being a dick, that doesn't mean you have to ruin your day.
Yeah.
You know, I had this conversation with my girlfriend regularly, in that she gets quite stressed about a bunch of things, and she will talk about it a lot, and it will, you can see it stopping her sleeping and stopping her relaxing, and it's like, do you know what, I have stressful things at work, but I leave them there. When I'm done for the day, I do my absolute best to not think about them until the next day. I don't want to ruin my night off or my day off.
Yeah, no, I'm rubbish at that. It's middle of the night for me.
Yeah.
I will literally wake up in the middle of the night and think, right, what can I worry about?
I think she does that. I don't do that.
What? Yeah, you get into this pattern of it, and then you wake up in the morning and it's light and stuff's going on. You're like, that's not so bad. I can sort it out. But you lay there at night thinking, oh my god.
Yeah, that's weird. I very rarely get that. If it's really bad, maybe I might have a sleepless night, but that's so rare for me. You know, I mean, I don't owe the taxman any money, but if I did owe him fortunes, I'd still sleep pretty well.
Yeah.
I just don't have the kind of brain.
Well, the taxman's not a problem because he can't take you to court.
Well,
They send you a letter from Avantis. Yeah. Is it where the debt collectors for the self-assessment? Okay, so you know, what do you want the keys to? They phone you. You know. Well, no, we can't do anything. We just pass your case back to the Inland Revenue.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll stop paying my tax then.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
I've just paid it.
Oh, but you can go to prison.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go to prison. No. I think that'd be pretty stressful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be pretty stressful. So what's your top tips apart from a pint? What's a good thing to do? What really makes you unwind if you're having a shitty day or a shitty week? That doesn't include going to the pub.
We can't say.
No, well, not really. I think that would get us taken off YouTube.
Okay. All right. Well, it helps.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure they can work out the subjects we don't want to talk about that can be de-stressing sometimes.
I'm just popping upstairs for a quick de-stress. I won't be long.
I mean, I was talking about like a cup of tea, or a nice sit on a hill with a nice view, or maybe have a nice relaxing bath.
Yeah, well,
But maybe you combine the two.
Yeah. So what? A cup of tea and a bath.
That can work.
That's why we work so well together, Sean. You have all the sensible and
you
good
have
reasons.
all the stupid and dirty ideas.
Yeah, all the real ones.
The real ones.
Yeah. Here's a cup of tea.
I have lots of tea.
Well, yeah, but
I get through gallons of the stuff.
Yeah.
It's always my go-to. Oh, that was a difficult conversation. I'll have a cup of tea.
Yeah. Oh, that was a difficult conversation. I'm going upstairs for.
Oh dear.
And on that bombshell.
I think it's time to go. Welcome to the studio. It's episode 5. Fumph. Or what's the French for 5?
Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq. I've got a joke about that. Why did the 1, 2, 3 cat win the race across the channel?
I don't know.
Because the un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq.
That's pretty good.
At least you'll probably leave that one in. You normally take my jokes out.
Only if they're offensive. Quite a lot of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few offensive ones today, actually. I'll save them for later.
Of course you have. You just like to give me work to do in the edit. Right, let's try not to offend too many people today.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we are.
What, not both of the viewers?
Both of them. Well, you know, if we offend both of them, there'll be none of them.
There'll be none. Yeah,
there'll be none
enough.
left.
Yeah.
We have to hang on to them. Anyway, today we were talking about stress, which was quite stressful in itself.
It was, yeah.
But,
especially as it was cold, we needed a wee.
All that stuff. It's quite stressy.
Hungry, yeah. All that stressful stuff.
Had this grand idea to shoot outside in the nice sunny day, and it was pretty much just fog.
Pea soup.
Yeah, it was very a pea soup. Yeah, all the Americans would go, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Someone commented the other day that I said something, I didn't have a Scooby. And I explained Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
Sorry about that. Anyway, back to the studio now, nice and warm, cosy, pot of tea.
America, it's aseptic, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
A septic tank.
Do they know we called them septics?
I don't know. My dad apparently once dropped that at quite a small exclusive business dinner with a load of American people he was working with.
What, actually said it to them?
Yes.
Referred to them as septics?
Well, I don't know if he sort of used it as part of the joke, but it didn't go down very well. What's a septic tank? What is this big tank that all your shit goes in?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ah, well.
Cockers, Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah. Neither of us are Cockneys. Not really.
No.
Might sound like them on certain days, but, but
no.
Actually not, officially. Anyway, should we do some news?
Yeah.
Okay. Got to talk about the Grammys.
Oh, yeah.
Got to talk about that insane circus that is the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on there?
Well, it's the Grammys, isn't it?
It's the Grammys. Okay, so let's get the headlines out of the way. Kanye, or Ye.
Yeah, it wasn't Ye, it was his other half.
It was his other half turning up in not a lot.
Well, she turned up in a fur coat.
She did, and then she took that off, and then she had something on that was just completely transparent.
Yeah.
And then just kind of stood there looking a little bit awkward.
Yeah,
a
little bit awkward. No trouser beard.
No trouser beard. No. No, none of that.
I had to search quite hard to find the unedited pictures.
I bet you were zooming in like crazy.
Weren't you? Yeah, it's just pixels.
Just pixels.
Yeah, what a pixelated. Anyway.
Yeah, thank God. But yeah, I would say she looked not comfortable.
What? A see-through? You don't think a see-through dress would be comfortable?
I'm sure it's comfortable to wear. I don't think it's comfortable to know that the whole world is looking at you.
No.
And I'm not entirely sure that was her idea.
No.
So that's awkward.
Are you suggesting that she's being manipulated by her boyfriend?
Yeah. I've come off it. Of course she is.
Is she?
If she'd have gone on her own, would she have worn that?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, we don't know, to be fair.
I've seen girls on a night out not wear much more than that.
That's a fair point, yeah.
No, there genuinely does seem to be a kind of narrative around it that she is being coerced into being a work of art for Ye rather than...
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I struggle. We had this conversation earlier, but I think he's a very talented guy, but he's also completely nuts.
Yeah.
And, you know,
well,
and
often come in hand in hand.
They do, yeah. Said before, you know, what he gives in one hand, in talent, he takes away in the other hand.
He hits his girlfriend with the other. Edit, yep. Damn. The other one for me was Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, turning up with a house on his head. What was that? It was actually a hat, apparently, a designer hat.
I could see it was a hat.
Yeah.
Well, if you're stupid enough to pay $1,400 for a hat that resembles a house,
apparently it was just in case Chris Rock's son turned up and tried to hit him. It was actually a boxing guard.
Is he? I mean, what's the statement there? A black house? Is it something to do with the fires?
I think it's a ghost house. I don't know exactly. I don't know.
He's such a weird kid.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be.
Yeah.
You're going to be a weird kid if that's your dad.
Yeah. Well, didn't his mum shag his best friend?
Yeah, I think that happened. Yeah, that would do something weird to your brain.
And then she admitted it live on television while they were having the counselling session.
Yep.
Yeah.
That has to go down in history as one of the most awkward interviews ever.
I didn't watch it. I've read, well, people saying pretty much that.
Well, his face just looked, you could see his world falling apart on his face and desperately trying to keep a straight face, whilst actually you could see behind there he's gutted.
He's all falling down.
Yeah. You know, which obviously came to a head at the Oscars when he lost his shit, which, I don't know. Not excusing that, just saying there was a lot of stuff that happened.
La La Land, isn't it? Because people, you know, it's
you lose your mind.
You lose your mind.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not operating on a plane that we operate on. You know.
No, they're not. No. It's a weird place. It's a whole different set of rules over there, and they're not normal. It makes you admire people that can deal with it all the more. Though you look at Keanu Reeves, just doesn't get involved.
No.
You know, lives a very simple life. Doesn't flash his money around. Rides the tube. Gives a lot of his money away. You just think that's the way.
Yeah.
That's the way forward.
Yeah.
Just keep yourself to yourself. Don't get involved in the crazy circus, you know.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, though, I presume.
Well, I don't know. I think once you've I don't know. We work, you know, the music business can be a bit like that. And you soon work out, by the time you're out of your 20s, you're thinking, actually, I'm not going to go to this after party.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the last train home and I'm going to go home to bed.
Well, I remember when I was in my sort of 20s, it was always a thing. I would get to a party, you know, I used to love a house party, and I would be the last to leave. I'd always think that that's when all the good stuff happens. That's the best time to be there, when everyone started going and you're the last one left. You know, I stuck that out. Whereas now I'm like, I'm well up for going early. You know, when's the earliest I can get out of here?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you don't do anything that keeps the people up till the end. That's the thing.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people go for 3 days.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. I do remember going to a party back in those days, a long, long time ago, and being there all night, having ridiculous conversations with people. And then eventually it was like broad daylight, lunchtime the next day, and just thinking, well, I've overdone it. You know, I need to go home and think about my life for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't do that anymore. Definitely not.
No.
Right. Anything else we need to talk about at the Grammys?
No. I mean, the news thing is going to be dominated by Trumpisms, isn't it, at the moment?
I mean, it kind of mostly is, yeah. I mean, there's been some insane ones. There has been insane ones. Let's just pick one. What's your favourite one?
Gaza the Riviera.
Yeah. Let's level Gaza. Yeah. Move them all out.
I think it's already levelled.
A couple of hotels.
Yeah.
Golf course.
Yeah. Trump Towers too.
Is he insane?
Yeah.
Of course he's insane.
Yeah, he is actually insane.
Literally the definition of ethnic cleansing.
Yes.
Move all those brown people out of their homes.
Yeah.
We'll put some hotels, some golf courses and some offices.
Yeah.
And, you know,
start flying the middle classes out there for a nice time away from their 5-star resorts.
What a nut job.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's move on to something else. So there's a story in the press this week that 40% of people in the UK, when they are in the supermarket doing the self-scan, 40% of people don't scan at least one item. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, right, what am I not going to scan? Have you ever, Dan, not scanned?
No. No way. Absolutely not. I absolutely 100%, and I'd like to say this to the camera, pay for everything every time I go to a self-service checkout or the self-scan supermarket.
Your nose is looking bigger than ever. Come on, it's a little game everyone plays, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you get one chance.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't beep. Still going in the bag.
Well, there's this other thing now which we do where you take the scan around with you and then you beep it as you're putting it in your bag, and then you just at the end and randomly it selects you to have everything scanned. And as long as you've scanned everything, you're all good. But if it turns out you haven't scanned like 20 quid's worth, I don't know. You
have to do 20 push-ups.
Never had the random scan yet. It's coming.
I've seen them do it. It's like customs.
Yeah. I've seen the faces on people when I was literally next to a woman yesterday who got pulled up, and I'm like, I can tell by her face she hasn't scanned more than one thing. Yeah. I can totally see it though. But it's like, if you're only scanning 3 things, you're doing one of those quick in-between shops. That's a bit of a risk, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
you need more products to make it more believable.
Yeah. I mean, the self, I would be more wary of doing it at the self-scan than the self-checkout.
Yeah.
Because the self-checkout, bosh, you're done.
Yeah, but doesn't it knows if you put something in the bag that hasn't been scanned?
It depends where you go and which checkouts you... Not that I... You know,
turns out Dan's an expert. Where do we have to go?
Some of them,
that isn't a problem.
Well, the Marks and Spencers split the tills, so in Marks and Spencers near me, 3 of the tills have got weighted packing areas. 3 of the tills haven't. So the self-service checkout is a bit of a gamble, really. You know, you've got to.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So you don't want to stock yourself up and then be lumbered with having to go have all your shopping weighed, where you have to pay for everything. So a friend said.
Okay, here's another thing then. Do the shops think, do you know what, this is just going to happen, but we're saving so much on paying staff who used to scan this stuff that, you know, it's fair game.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Do you think that's what's going on?
Cost-benefit analysis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many, I mean, now if there's 1 or maybe 2 at peak times actually scanning, that you're lucky.
What? Yeah, in the
like Sainsbury's or Tesco's or whatever, it's mostly self-scan.
Yeah, it's mostly self-scans.
So they're not paying. I don't know. There would have been. I mean, I remember when I used to go shopping with my mum in like the 80s and early 90s or whatever. There would be 30 maybe people all lined up scanning. They're all on probably minimum wage, but that adds up.
Yeah.
So they're getting away with a massive saving there.
Yeah. Of course, the worst bit is when you need the attendant to come and help you.
No, you just stand there.
Yeah. Hello. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
Yeah. No, I don't mind being a bit rude in those situations because quite often you just want to get.
They're all
get
stood
gone.
there chatting.
Yeah. You get lots of that. Anyway, there you go.
Where's the tisp?
Where's the what?
The tisp.
There's a screwdriver over there, or there's some wooden stirrers over there. Going for the screwdriver. Okay, that's the news. Let's do some TV. Dan, what have you been watching in the last week?
I haven't really. I've had one of those weeks where the other half has watched loads of TV.
Okay.
And she's started. You know, when somebody starts, you're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in a relationship?
I am.
Yeah. And one of you starts a series without the other one.
Yeah.
And either the other one doesn't get it because they haven't seen the first half of the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
They're uninterested for the same reason.
Yep.
Or you just have a bit of a strop. What are you doing? Fucking starting a series without me?
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit here and look at my phone now and just. Don't you want to watch this? No, it's rubbish. I've had a bit of a week like that, to be honest. We've also been dog sitting for a family member, so
okay.
I've not had my usual sort of home setup.
Okay.
One thing I did catch some of, as I was telling you, was this thing where a poor family from a poor house.
Oh yeah.
Swap with a rich family from a rich house. And again, it's a bit like heroin, incredibly bad for you, but very, very Moorish. You know,
you were saying that the poor family just take their spending money and go and buy a telly.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so they're like the poor family have got like 45 quid, like disposable income to live on for a week.
Yeah,
and the rich family have like nearly £2,000. Yeah, so what happens is generally the poor family move into the rich family's house and just go and buy a load of clothes and a TV. TV was one of them. Yeah, there's like two of them carting the TV back to the house.
Wow.
But it's seeing the two. It's quite interesting seeing how the other half see the other half living.
Wow. I vaguely remember watching something like that years ago on TV. It's weird, isn't it? Because, when you've lived on a budget and you know that you have to watch where every quid's going, it's a very, very different lifestyle to when you don't have to look at your bank account even, And you don't have to earn much before you're at that level where it's like, I don't need to check. I know I'm going to be able to afford to do an extra shop this week or whatever I've got to do. Yeah. One
of the interesting ones for me was one of the families, they were in a flat. And on one of the days, it was raining or whatever. And they said, we've never considered that, we could take the kids to the park, but we can't because it's slashing it down.
Yep.
And we can't afford to go anywhere. Normally we'd go off to the cinema or go to a play world or
Yeah.
But we've got £4 to last us, feed us for 2 days and we can't afford to go anywhere.
No, I mean, I've said before, when my kids were very young, we went through a bit of that for a couple of years, and that is tough. But you do get used to it, And to be fair, the kids, unless they've been used to something different before that, they don't know any different. Yeah,
happy sat around watching the telly.
Yeah, you can still have a fun day. You don't have to spend any money. But yeah, it's a completely different world once you've got used to having money.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been watching on the telly?
What have I been watching? Well, The Apprentice has started again, which is...
Is that with Donald Sugar?
Donald Sugar, yeah. Sir Alan, is he Sir Alan?
Is it Sir Alan?
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's Lord Sugar, Sir Alan Sugar. I don't know what he is these days. Yeah, so it was the first one of those, it's one of those things. Some years I watch it and get really into it. Other years I'm like, no, I can't bear watching idiots just...
Be given an opportunity.
Being given an opportunity and really fucking it up. They appear to be so stupid. It's as if they've been picked for their lack of common sense so often.
I would guess there's probably an element of that.
There's got to be. There's such dicks. It's. I just scream at the telly. It gets me really wound up.
What does Alan Sugar actually do now? He had Sinclair, but that didn't last long, did it?
That's he bought that years ago. No, he bought it when it was dying and sort of rejuvenated it a bit. But he bought Spurs years ago. But he owns lots of
own Spurs?
Yeah, for a while, yeah.
No, he doesn't.
No. He's got lots of business. He's a successful guy.
You don't know either, do you?
I don't know specifically. He still owns AMS Trading, which is Amstrad, and they do a lot of screen advertising. I think they do.
Yeah.
Lots of he's into a lot of technology-based stuff.
They still make those little 3-wheel cars, the Sinclair.
No,
what were they called?
I think so. The Sinclair C5.
The C5, yeah.
That was in the days.
It was on Tomorrow's World in the mid-80s.
Yeah.
In the future, everybody will be driving a Sinclair C5.
I mean, they're not far wrong. It's everyone's got an electric scooter. They had one too many wheels, and they were sat too low down. But other than that, they were kind of on the money, interestingly. But yeah, The Apprentice, I don't know whether I'm going to watch the rest of the series, but I'm getting sucked in a little bit into that. I just find it fascinating watching dumb people make dumb decisions. And the other thing I was watching is Night Agent 2. There was The Night Agent came out a couple of years ago, and the second series has just come out. I don't know if you've seen it, Netflix thing. It's about this guy. I think he's it's this thing called The Night Agent. So he, in the first series, he's got this job of being stuck in this like black room, this tiny little office, and the phone might ring. And if someone rings the phone, it means they're an agent and they're in trouble and you have to help. Anyway, so he ends up becoming one of these night agent guys. And the first series was really good. I really got sucked into that. I really enjoyed it. He teams up with this woman and they sort of, save the day eventually. Second series, it's a bit convoluted how they put these two characters back together in the first couple of episodes. And I would say the first 3 episodes were a bit like an action film. I was struggling to in fact, Rosie started watching it with me, gave up. She could knack it. It was too action filmy. Not the plot wasn't getting her sucked in enough. I persevered and I really enjoyed it in the end. It just took a while to get into it. But it was all right. Got to the end.
Night Agent.
The Night Agent 2, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's one of those though, I'll forget entirely what it was about within a couple of weeks, and I won't think about it again until there's another series.
Of course, I've done loads of Paddington Bear, Paw Patrol.
Oh yeah, you're in that zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
I prefer Paddington to Paw Patrol.
Okay, it's not like the old Paddington, is it? That I used to watch.
It's the one Ben Whishaw. I've told you.
Oh yeah, you've told me. I've never seen it.
No,
I think it was like animated in my day. It was like stop motion or something.
Yeah. Well, this is. I think this is. It's animated, made to look like puppets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair dues.
Anyway, snuff of Paddy. I told you, Gary Barlow wrote the theme tune.
You did tell me just before you put him in the sin bin, whatever it is we're calling that. Okay, let's move on to some audio. What have you been listening to?
Well,
you played me some stuff in the car.
I did. Really I played you some Lola Young.
Lola Young, that was it.
Yeah, so she has had this big hit. It's one of those songs. I said to you, it's one of those songs you hear for the first time. It sounds like you've known it all your life.
Yeah,
and it's really good. But she came up on my Instagram probably a year ago, 18 months ago, and she was out and about, sort of just doing Instagram videos. And I thought, God, I've discovered an artist.
I mean, at the ground level.
Yeah, exactly. There must be me and only obviously the other 40,000 people that have liked this video that have ever heard of Lola Young.
Yep.
And then she turned up she's done one of the big American talk shows, Fallon.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. She did it with a live band. So I did a bit of Googling and stuff. And of course, she's Brit School and, trained. And it was all, you think.
Not organic at all.
No, I've been suckered in just like every other poor mug. So, yeah, Lola Young and then Doechii.
Oh, yeah. That's the one spelt D-O...
Doechii. Yeah. And she's really good. Really funny, slightly different sort of approach to sort of rapping and hip hop. She has these other girls that chip in. There's a bit of conversation and to and fro in, and she's quite funny. She's gorgeous.
That always helps.
It does help. So yeah, that's sort of what I've been listening to. Again, found through Instagram.
Yeah.
I think Doechii performed at the Grammys and won a Grammy.
Nice.
But yeah, Lola Young again is an Instagram star, and I just sort of picked her on Apple Music. We
were saying about the Grammys earlier, weren't we? It's quite difficult sometimes. Some of the music that does very well, you do think some of it genuinely great. Other you just think is there some kind of secret goings on behind this that makes sure that all of this lot at some point get a Grammy?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there is.
There is, yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna.
The music business corrupt.
I mean, not all of it, but definitely there's some weird stuff going on sometimes.
Yeah. Not the level we got to, but certainly those levels above it.
All those that got invited to the Diddy parties.
Yeah.
There's some stuff going on there, and it's a very slippery situation.
Oh, see what you did there, yeah.
Yeah, with the baby oil and whatever
very slick.
else. Very slick. Right. I this week.
Like another bit of baby oil as it goes.
I don't want to know.
No. Yeah, good stuff, that.
Enough. I had a bit of a rekindling of my love of the Manic Street Preachers, just because obviously
you're on breakfast TV with them.
I did a breakfast TV thing with my client last Sunday, and the Manics were on there. Got to meet them, which is kind of cool, but watch them perform and stuff, and then I used to absolutely love the Manics back in the day, so I did dig out some of my old stuff. And interestingly, I got into them in the stage when they were kind of doing that, Australia and If You Tolerate This, Children Will Be Next, that kind of era.
Post, what's his name? Post the lead singer.
Yeah, post Richie going missing.
Richie, that's it.
But then my favourite song probably is Motorcycle Emptiness. Which is just, I just love that song. But I also, there's two interesting things about that song. Is that one, the lead riff, it comes in after every verse, after every chorus. It's a slightly different version of that riff. It's in it so much. It's so clever how many times they've stuffed it into that song that it gets in your brain. But also
that album that If I Had a Bottle,
yeah,
and all that was on. Was it that the blue one, the one with the
yeah.
I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh no,
but I hated it when it first came out. I was into dance music and all that sort of stuff. I'd heard some of it recently because my mum was really into it when it first came out. And I heard some recently, and it's brilliant. All those big strings and stuff on it. Yeah,
that's what I loved about it. They put that massive orchestral element into it, and it's a lot of bands were doing that with their second and third albums. Let's get a string section, but they did it really well, I think. What I find fascinating about them is that James Dean Bradfield, the singer, I don't think he writes any of the lyrics.
Doesn't he?
No, it's all written by Nicky Wire. And you could sort of tell.
Wrestling in the top 3 dickhead bass players of all time, in my humble opinion, but there we go.
He was a very nice guy in person.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. But I just find it fascinating.
Sexual fascination with Hoovers.
I don't know.
I seem to remember.
That rings, I'm sure that came up in conversation. Anyway, who knows? But yeah, I just find it interesting, the lyrics, the way that they're fitted around the music. Sometimes you think that's a weird lyric to write and then sing with that melody, but it's obviously because they're two different people.
I've got massive amounts of respect from anyone that can play guitar and pick, because a lot of it's, that what I'm doing.
And sing.
And sing, yeah.
Yeah. God. Yeah, that's very, very difficult. Yeah, I was in a band briefly where I was playing guitar and singing. It's really hard.
I can't even just sing.
Either one of those things is hard. Putting them together, very tricky. Yeah, so there you go. That's what we've been listening to for the last week. Anything else been going on? Anything interesting on the radio? Read anything interesting?
This is leading somewhere, isn't it?
No. What are you saying? No.
I'm saying that normally when you put out a vague question like that.
No, I'm just seeing if there's anything else interesting that has happened in your life in the last week.
No, thank God.
No, thank God. You like a quiet week?
I do like a quiet week. Yeah. No, went out. No. Nothing exciting at all.
Nothing.
Well, I have. I've done stuff, but just not stuff I'm going to discuss now.
Oh, fair dues.
No.
I've had an insane week.
There you go. I knew it was leading somewhere.
Well, I don't particularly want to talk about my insane week, but I'm just saying it's been insane. I've had one of those weeks where I've not been around at all. It's been so busy with work. I've been here, there, and everywhere. It's been exhausting, but sort of rewarding, I suppose. But it's very interesting to. Well, we were talking about work and stuff earlier, and it's like, as much as you enjoy it sometimes when it's going well and you're busy, you don't look forward to it just calming down a bit,
again, yeah.
And coming and sitting and doing this, I've been looking forward to this for ages since we last did it, because it's been so nuts since the last time. And it's like, can't wait to sit down and just have a chat. And not be running around doing stuff and being responsible for stuff.
I mean, we've talked about this before, working, you work in your studio, I've got my office at home.
Yeah.
And then the prospect of having to go anywhere or see anyone, it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get up early.
There's been a lot of that. I've started so many days in darkness, getting up at 5 to go places. It's been, oh man, that's hard work.
Does your dog not want to get up at that sort of time in the morning?
The funny thing is, like, whenever I sort of sneak into the kitchen at that time in the morning, he's curled up on the sofa asleep, and he sort of perks up. He's like, it's morning, means I'm going to get fed. And then I just go, back to bed. And he sort of goes,
oh. All right, fair enough.
And he does go back to bed.
Sounds like my daughter.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good. You tell him to go back to bed, he does.
Our dogs are looking forward to being fed from about 4 a.m.
Yeah.
There's usually one of us up and about from 5:30, pottering about.
Yeah. Well, in normal life, I'm the last one. Normally, like, my girlfriend will get up first, the kids will all get up, they'll all disappear off to school and work and blah, blah, blah. I'm the last one to get up. So, yeah, for a week of being the first one out of the house before anyone's even awake has been kind of weird, creeping around in the dark, trying not to wake anyone up, which is, it's not easy. hence I've worn a hat for about a week.
Isn't it interesting? Walking around, you're talking about that, getting up early. I do the same. You think, maybe I'll have a shower the night before, so so I don't wake up. Women, hair dryer, lights on, fucking bashing around in the kitchen. You're thinking, hold on a minute.
I know. But they will claim, oh no, I tiptoe around like a mouse. No, you don't. Sure enough. That's a good place to end. Yeah. In trouble with all our girlfriends. Yeah, perfect. Anyway, thank you for watching. Been another interesting one for us. We have a TikTok. We have an Instagram. You can now find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, I think Amazon Podcasts, and maybe a few others.
There you go.
There you go.
Hitting the big time.
Yeah, hitting the big time for both of you. Both of our viewers can now find us on more platforms than we have viewers. So that's a goal we've achieved.
Excellent stuff.
We will see you next time.
On the plan.
Adios.